everyone. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Cosmic Soul Sisters. We are so glad that you're here. We're so glad that you have found us. My name is Shara Keys, and I'm joined here today with my soul sister, Cosmic Soul Sister, Leah Davis. She is someone I've looked up to my entire life. She is my soul sister and my blood sister here in real life in 3D. Welcome, Leah.
Hi, thank you. Thank you everyone for being here. I'm really excited to start this new adventure with Shara, especially. We've always been very close growing up, and I've known for some time now that we are supposed to be doing something together, that we are somehow supposed to be sharing love and light with the world and using some of the gifts that we've found over the past years to truly hopefully bring some help to people. I don't know about you, Shar, but I feel as though we are in this place right at this exact moment for a purpose. And I feel like we've done this before. We have been spiritual leaders and teachers in previous carnations together. And now is the time that we get to share that in this current world. This idea came to us basically because for many years, Shar has been studying a lot of different metaphysical things. And I have been a little bit more recent in that study, but we were chatting about how we've collected all these important nuggets and all this cool stuff that we feel like could be helpful for others, yet we don't do anything with it. We just kind of shove it in a metaphysical sock drawer somewhere and maybe use a little bit here and there in our own lives, but we're not doing anything positive with it to impact the world. And so that's what's led us here today. Shara, would you like to tell us maybe some of the things that you've studied in the past and the things that have been drawn into your world?
Sure. I think my journey probably started with Nia, which is a somatic mind, body, emotions, somatic movement practice, but it really incorporates a lot of other things too into it. And so my journey started with Nia. I taught Nia for a while. And then I really started getting into yoga. And so I did my RYT 200 training on that. I've also dived into Reiki. So I did a training in Reiki. I'm only level 1 certified in that. And I did an access consciousness training. So the bars facilitation, and that's touching different points on the head to release limiting beliefs and so much more. And I guess I just really, I do these trainings and then I'm finding myself really drawn to this work. I love plants and plant healing. I'm a landscape architect and I love working on healing gardens and meditation and things like that. But I, like you said, I've been stuffing them in my sock drawer. So I'm really glad that we're finally opening up our drawers, so to speak, so that we can clean this out and share this with the world. So yeah, I think some of the areas that I'm interested in learning more about through this process is astrology. And I know that's something that you're working on too, and that can take a lifetime to study, right? It's not something that you take a course and you're
Expansive.
Yes, exactly. So I'm really excited to learn more about that and about shifting mindset and really kind of like neuroscience. I'm really drawn to learning how that paired with metaphysical anatomy, I don't know if we'd call it that, but how that all works together scientifically and metaphysically. So, gosh, there's so much. I'd also like to expand my empathic skills. What about you? I mean, what areas are you interested in developing throughout this process? I know that you have a lot that you're interested in as well.
Yes, I have a problem because I'm interested in so much that I tend to dive deeply into things and then learn as much as I possibly can. I become like obsessed about learning about it. Um, but there's so many different areas that I have to hold myself back, or else I would be like of no use to my family. Because I would spend all my time learning about astrology or whatever it is that I'm, whatever rabbit hole I'm down at that point. Um, really, for me, I started with a life that was very, very, very 3D for a long time. Completely scattered with to-do lists, with um, probably a lot of self-judgment, trying to be perfect in every area of my life in the physical plane, like the perfect mom, the perfect business owner. I think at one point I owned and managed 4 different businesses. 4. So I was constantly from sun up to sundown running through everything that I had to do, everything I had to take care of. I was either thinking about something that needed to be done or regretting something that I did in the past because it was a mistake. I literally didn't know what self-care was. Maybe I took a shower at 10 at night right before I crashed. Maybe that would be a self-care day. But it was really, maybe it's a life that a lot of our listeners can relate to, because you are just running in circles and you feel like you might complete everything on your to-do list, but it is not fulfilling. So that was a space that I was in for a number of years. Busy business owner, mother of 4, trying to be as good a wife as I possibly can, can. And I just had this thought that popped into my head one day to call Shara, which is really funny because we were very close growing up, and I still consider her my best friend. I have ever since I was little. But there would be literally months that we wouldn't talk, right? Literally.
Yeah.
And poor Shara would call me and I wouldn't answer, and I'd be like, I'll call her back tonight. And then I wouldn't get to. I wouldn't make the time to, and that's so sad. I'm really sorry, Shara.
It's all good. I just figured, she's busy, whatever.
I was over busy with things that didn't matter in the end, right? But for some reason this day, I'm like, I need to call Shara, and I start chatting with her, and the idea of reincarnation comes up. And for some reason, I say, Shara, I think I've had other lives before. I think I've had a life in the South. Do you have any idea of how I would go about learning about that? Is that something you believe in? Who could I ask? And she pointed me into the direction of a psychic intuitive and empath university teacher. Her name's Ame. She is amazing. She's absolutely darling. And hopefully we can have her on the show one day. But ever since I started her course, my life completely changed. And I wouldn't say that it changed me as a person, but I would say that it helped me remember who I really am. So that was probably, would you say 3 years ago?
Probably around there. Mm-hmm.
Once I started tapping into my intuitive skills and really going through the teachings that Ame gave me as far as tapping into my superpowers, all of my clairs, I've been able to truly transform everything about my life. And I now feel like I did when I was little, which I'm guessing is the essence of who Leah really is, right? On a personality level, I feel more in touch with my true self. So things that I've learned over the years and courses that I've taken, the intuitive course was really fascinating. Learned a lot about my clairs, clairvoyant, claircognizant. You're clairgustant. I'm not. That would be a really cool one to have, though. That is very, very, very fascinating to me. I've also delved into past life regressions, done trainings for that so that I can regress myself to find previous lifetimes, as well as regress other people in a hypnotic state. I studied crystal healing and transpersonal healing. Currently studying astrology, and then like you mentioned, that's probably, all of these things are probably lifelong study. But what other things? Connecting with my divine guidance, connecting with my galactic family. I've always been interested in plant medicine, like you mentioned, functional medicine, healing through nature. But things that I might be interested in learning in the future, I would say right now I'm very much drawn to galactic astrology, which is a little bit different than traditional astrology that you might practice here in the West. And it has a lot more to do with where everything was aligned at the time of your birth as far as celestial bodies. So like not just planets, but also stars, and then asteroids, other celestial bodies. And you read a chart, and it actually can give you some ideas about the reason that your soul decided to reincarnate into this body at this time, and some clues as to what you have done in previous lives and what your skill sets might be from eons past. So those are things that I'm interested in going forward. I want to learn more about Reiki as well, and chakras, energy healing. But I would say that one of the best things that we have found over the last couple of years is the contacts that we've made in these worlds. Amazing people that have a lot that they can share. So we're hoping that we can have them on our show. Basically bring you a spiritual smorgasbord, if you will, to delve into all these different topics. And if you find one that really speaks to you, then hopefully provide you with that resource so that you can investigate it further.
Right. It's almost like we're acting as a transmitter here. We're gathering this ancient wisdom and resources, and we want to share it with you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So go ahead, Leah.
No, you go for it.
I was just going to say what it might look like. Did you have something else you wanted to share before that?
No, please. What would it look like?
What will it look like? It's evolving, but it might be podcasts. It might be little snippets like this, or interviews with other masters, people that we have found to be a great resource to us. It could be posted on our Instagram or our Facebook and website when that's available as well. And what we really want to bring to you too are little nuggets, like little snippets, things that you can use in your everyday life, perhaps even today. So I'm curious, Leah, do you have any nuggets for us today, little cosmic nuggets to share?
One thing that I do every day, it's become a practice, just 5-minute meditation, which I do every morning. And it's really a time for me to check in with myself and check in with my guides. I always ask if they have any messages for me. If there's anything that I need to be focused on for the day. I always ask, how can I bring love and light to this world today? And sometimes there's specific answers for me. Sometimes there's just a little bit of inspiration to kind of move me in a different direction. But today when I sat down to meditate, they reminded me that this venture that you and I are on is going to be a really great thing for us to share our love and light with the world, for us to be able to connect with other people that have similar ideas and maybe different perspectives as well. But they also think that on a personal level, it will be very good for you and I, because it will help us with some shadow work. And that's a topic that we absolutely need to get somebody on to talk about that, because that's a very important thing for us to work on, to truly expand our consciousness and to truly step into the best versions of ourselves. So that was the message that was shared with me today. I don't know if do you see that at all helping this venture that we're doing, helping with some shadow work for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, I have, I'm this tool collector and a metaphysical dabbler, and I have this unquenchable thirst for knowledge, not like memorizing historic dates and stuff like that. Like my mind is not built for that. If yours is, great, that's wonderful. Not mine. But it's more this like ancient, yearning to gather ancient wisdom. And I mean, I'm a little afraid to share it, I guess. And so this is going to be really great shadow work for me to really truly tune into who I am and to be able to share that with you, the listeners. So it's good. It's all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we have anything else today to share?
I don't think so. Who would you say would be some of the guests that we can expect to be joining us soon?
Ooh, that's a good question because we haven't actually reached out to them yet. But I can tell you that we hope to have intuitive people, would you say?
Yes.
Empaths, yogis, and people to help facilitate meditations, and I'm forgetting the list. Do you have any others that you can think of?
I want to bring somebody in to talk about divine feminine and divine masculine energy.
Ooh,
That's
yeah.
something that's on my mind a lot lately. And I think it has to do with the world that we're living in right now, particularly the energies that are going on right now. Definitely ruled by masculine energy, and it's probably not in not all cases the divine masculine sense of the word. It might be a little bit more of the wounded masculine energy that seems to be coming through. So that would be really interesting to me. I also have somebody that I would like to chat with about raising spiritually aware children, because I think that is an art form right now.
And also something that is so important and so needed, especially in today's time, with
Absolutely.
everything that's going on cosmically and everything that's going on. That's a really important thing. I also would love to have on my Reiki teacher, if she's available, so we can learn about Reiki, chakra work, and what's the other one I was going to say? Oh yeah, shamanic healing.
What would that look like?
Good question.
That's why we're going to ask a guest on.
I know. I don't know anything about it. I've done a shamanic healing journey. I didn't facilitate it, but I went on one and it was magical. So I'd love to have somebody who could share that with our listeners.
Absolutely perfect. Well, can I invite our listeners, if they have any ideas of topics that would be of interest to them, to put it in the comment section below, because we're very open to reaching out to anyone and everyone that you think might be valuable to talk to in this area. And, maybe there's a lot of different topics that we haven't even thought about discussing, and we're very open to hearing about them. So please leave some comments below if there is anything you want to hear.
Or if there's anything you want to share, if you are
Yes.
one of these people, please share, and we would love to get in touch with you and have you on our show.
Absolutely.
All
Well,
right.
it was really nice to meet everybody. I'm very excited that you're here. I'm very excited to share this journey with you.
Thank you for being here. We're sharing love and light to all of you in our cosmic family. Until next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye for now.